All right. All right. Okay, on the 21st of February 2023, it's Tuesday today. The time is exactly 2 minutes past 9 in the morning. We're proceeding with the CMY2601 crime risk perspective. I am doing this for me to make my study easier when I do my revisions, and I'm doing learning unit 1.9. As you can see, here is the contents. We're going to start from learning outcomes. Here's our learning outcomes. After completing this study unit, you should be able to explain witchcraft as impersonal supernaturalism. Discuss the connection between malicious witchcraft and crime. Discuss Multimedas in South Africa in terms of their nature, occurrence, and characteristics. Assessment methods. After completing this study unit, you should be able to answer diverse multiple choice questions to demonstrate your understanding and knowledge of the study material. Introduction. Faith and religion are often seen as synonymous. Essentially, they both refer to people's relation with the divine supernatural. The supernatural refers to everything that differs from what people regard as natural. Faith and religion have certain elements in common in all societies. These are connected with human life and survival. In this section, we will focus on impersonal supernaturalism, in other words, belief in an impersonal natural force which manifests itself in magic and magician, and especially in witchcraft matters, ritual matters, and medicine or muti matters. Since magic can be used to the benefit or to the detriment of individuals and communities, we distinguish between the white or benevolent magic and black malevolent magic. It's the first time I read this word. Why you are studying this section, you should also revisit the module Introduction to Criminology, which deals with the problem of crime, offenders, and victims, study unit 1.4. Black magic and malevolent magic or witchcraft. Black magic, malevolent magic, or dark side magic is a form of magic or sorcery that draws on malevolent powers. It may be used for dark purposes or malevolent acts that deliberately cause harm in some way, e.g., to kill or injure, to cause misfortune or destruction, or for personal gain without regard to harmful consequences to other. Witchcraft terms and tools, black magic website. The term black magic is sometimes used to describe any form of ritual that some group or person does not approve of. White or benevolent magic springs from the idea that everything in the universe is infused by an intelligent, accidental power. White magic is the ability of humans to influence the flow of this power. The magical view of the world comes from the knowledge that everything on all levels of the reality is interconnected in a huge multi-layer network of energy. What the mind perceives as being many isolated objects are in reality not isolated but connected. A chance of one object influences and changes other objects. Therefore, it is possible that influence certain point of the net by accumulating and directing of the energy flow into other point of net. This flow can be created and consciously directed through the magical work. The magic can be learned and the world can be influenced. Anon to learn white magic. Here is a website. The distinction between black magic and white magic is debatable. For example, most branches of the major religions of Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Hinduism would argue that all forms of magic are evil or black magic. Some would claim that all magic, whether called black or white, is essentially the same. Others feel that any magic can have both good and bad consequences depending on who judges those consequences. Witchcraft terms and tools, black magic website. The black community believes that magical forces exist in physical things such as plants, insects, birds, animals, and people. These objects are used in medicine or mixed with other ingredients to form muti. Most black people believe that human body parts make a strongest muti. The Tswana tribes generally use the ring in magic. People can be bewitched with their own urine, and the cattle are kept safe with the use of their own urine. Reineke, 1992, page 148 to 118, SAPS Museum 2000, page 1. Multimedas in South Africa. The term muti originates from the Zulu word umuti, which means tree, bush, herb, poisonous caution or medicine. In Vavenda, the term mushonga is used to describe a magic poison. Ritual or multimedia in the term used by researchers to distinguish these matters for other type of any category of matter, e.g. particide, insecticide, the matter of police official or a purpose by the fact that body parts are removed from the victim. Minar 2019, page 48. Multimedas in South Africa are as old as country's ethnic variety and are still being committed to this day. The seriousness of the problem shows in the international attention it attracts. A large American television network, ABC, devoted much time to analyze the problem in a magazine program called 2020 and referred to it as one of the raw wounds of South African society. In their program entitled The Witches of South Africa, the following interesting facts emerged. Johannesburg, a modern city, is paralyzed by fears of witchcraft. About 300 people, many of them children, have died in witchcraft murders in South Africa. Among these victims are 11-year-old Sipho Molehomi of Johannesburg in 1999 and William DeLang, a 22-year-old who disappeared from Boksburg in August 1999 and was found in a shallow grave in the heart of a witch doctor in Ivory Coast on the East Rand in January 2000. Albinism. Albinism, originating from a word albus, meaning white in Latin. Albinis is a genetic disorder result in a decrease or absence of pigmentation in the hair, eyes, and skin. Albinism mostly arises from mutations of genes encoding for proteins involved in the synthesis or transport of melanin by melanocytes. This is predominantly a problem of albinos living in South Africa who suffer both emotional and physical from dermatological malignancies and must cope with being hunted for their body parts as well. Cruz, Inigo, Landisky, and Seti, 2010, page 99. The police officer has described the trauma that he and other officers experienced when they discovered the remains to be of those of a 13-year-old albino girl who was killed for muti purposes. The beheaded body was found in a shallow grave. Inside the Teresila's room, the police found muti baskets and bags of substances, what appeared to be body parts. A girl was abducted by gunpoint by 3 men who broke into their home at night. Shange, and 1 March 28, albino teen had cut off corpse tail of muti horror after Swaziland arrest. Available at website. Throughout Africa, an unknown number of albinos, especially children, have been the victim of brutal attack and murder in the name of witchcraft, superstitions, and wealth. The main driving forces behind these profiling crimes are ignorance, myths, superstitions such as the belief that individuals with albinism possess superpower in their body parts, bestowed fortune and health. Some common Mites and microceptions are weaving albino hair into a net improves the chances of catching fish. Albino parts worn as charms bringing good luck, fortune, and health. Albino parts are a necessary ingredient for witch doctor potions. Albinos have magical powers and can cure diseases. Intercourse with an albino lady will cure HIV and AIDS infection. Spitting on an albino prevents the condition in one's family. Albinos and their mothers are possessed by evil spirits. Close Indigo Landisky and Seti 29, page 80. Sangomas and witch doctors. In the past, Western thought that witches, witch doctors, and sangomas were all the same. There are vast differences between them. However, analysis shows that sangomas operate within the law, whilst witches and witch doctors do not. SAP Museum 2003, page 1. Sangomas. In Africa, two terms of denoted inyanga male or sangoma female. Minar A. July 2019, 7:48. A sangoma is a practitioner of herbal medicine, has many different social and political roles in a community. Some of these roles include divination, healing, direction rituals, finding lost cattle, and protecting warriors. The philosophy is based on the belief that ancestral spirits. There is a website of Sangomas. Both men and women can be called by the ancestors to become a Sangoma. A trainee Sangoma trains under another Sangoma for a number of years. During the training and for graduation, ritual sacrifice of an animal is performed. The spilling of this blood is meant to seal the bond between the ancestors and the Sangoma. There's a website to check this. Sangomas have a sacred healing hand called an ndumba, where their ancestors reside. They wear specific colored clothes to please each ancestor. Ancestors are summoned by burning of plant called impepo, dancing, chanting, playing drums. Sangomas are able to access advice and guidance from ancestors for their patients in three ways: possession by an ancestor or channeling, the throwing of bones, and dream interpretation. There is a website. Patients receive muti medications from plant and animal origins imbued in spiritual significance. The medicine is said to help with physical and mental illness, social disharmony, and spiritual difficulties. Potions for love and luck are also available. Muti can be drunk, smoked, inhaled, used for washing, smearing into the body, given as enemas, and rubbed into an incisions. Some 300 sangomas and other healers blessed Soweto Soccer City in a ceremony for luck during FIFA 2010 World Cup. There's a website. Some medical aid funds acknowledge sangomas and pay them for their services. Witch doctors. There is a need to deconstruct the term witchcraft, which is commonly associated with Multimedas. In the Western terminology, witchcraft is usually linked with witches, wizards, covens, and wicked practice, including the casting of spells, while Satanism, devil worship, is denoted by the term black magic, Minar 1948. A witchcraft is essentially a Sangoma whose services are used for evil purposes. It is difficult to determine in advance whether a particular person is a Sangoma or a witch doctor. Witch doctors use human and animal body parts instead of herbs and roots like a Sangoma. When human body parts are used, the implication is that murder was committed, which of course is irregular. The services provided and the methods that witch doctors use are generally unacceptable, but people continue to avail themselves as these services. Nevertheless, SAPS Museum 2003-1. Professor Nias of the Department of Anthropology at the University of Pretoria cited people's yearning for wealth and power as the main reason for Multimedas. Multimedas want to obtain money and power in that way. Law 2008, page 11. Similarly, the people who buy the muti do so in the belief that it will provide them with money and power. Multimedas are so frequent in Limpopo that a house of Vembe district was set up a refuge for children whose parents have died in ritual multimedas. Law 2002, page 11. A police task team to investigate ritual murders in Limpopo was set up in 2008 and complete its work in September 2008. On analyzing the dockets, murder cases were investigated, suspect arrested, convicted, and given sentences up to life imprisonment. Included in those cases were ritual murder cases that were clearly proven beyond reasonable doubt. For example, the high publicized case of State versus Shumani Temvu, Mokundeli Phosa, and other co-accused for murder of Mandla Senzenza and attempted murder of Nelisani Sidimela. Is a website to read more about above mentioned court cases. There is a website. Simon Feller, author of a report titled Trafficking Body Parts in Mozambique and South Africa. Is of the opinion that there is a deep-founded cultural belief that human body parts make the medicine muti more effective, and that this method can solve any problem from poverty to wealth issues. Witch doctors usually work through the third party, actively seek body parts from live victims. The research revealed that the trade of human body parts was transnational. It showed that body parts of people murdered in Mozambique were smuggled into South Africa. Fellows is concerned that multimurders are shrouded by the code of silence, where people are too afraid to speak out, allowing the practice to continue with the little or no consequences to the perpetrators. There is a journal there that needs to be read. Interesting reading. Government and traditional healers, represented by the National Traditional Healers Organization, has formed an alliance against mutu killings following the death of a 10-year-old Homo Masejo, the Minister of Women and Children and Persons with Disabilities. Noluthando Mayembe Sibiya said that African medicine is part of South African culture. South Africans' culture, but that this could not be used as an excuse to justify the killing of human being to heal another person. After about 901 body parts, especially breasts and genitals, were removed from healers. Pepe Sile Masego, national coordinator of the National Traditional Healers Organization, expressed concern that the profession was increasingly being placed in jeopardy each time such a case was reported in the media. Here's a website. Appearance and application of muti. The age-old belief that human blood and blood parts are essential for manufacture of medicine, muti, still persists today. Ritual murders are widespread, and 33 traditional healers are currently serving long prison sentences for their part in ritual murders. The motive often given for such murders is the need to obtain body parts for making muti. The muti would then sometimes be used for strengthening the position of traditional leaders under the pressure from young people, or it would be given to freedom fighters to ensure victory. Blood is widely used for vitality, while brain is used for political power and succession in business. The sexual organs, breast and placentas, are used to treat infertility and bring about good luck. Virgin sexual organs of young boys and girls are highly sought after and are used to certain sexual activities. FactNet Message Board 2003-9. The body parts are chopped up, mixed with plants, extracts, herbs, and used medically by witch doctors and, in some cases, traditional healers. The parts of human body are used to secure certain advantages from ancestors. For example, the skull may be built into a foundation of a new building to ensure good business, or a brew containing human parts may be buried where it is believed to ensure good harvest. A victim's hand or parts of hand are regarded as symbol of possession. The eyes of a victim symbolize the vision, and the blood can give vitality. Minar A. July 2019, 7:48. As with people, animals are also mutilated or maimed for muti, because some people believe that in particular animals can be used magically to bring good or bad luck. CP Museum 2003 1. The use of animal body parts is widespread. Muti shops in Johannesburg are full of monkey skulls, baboon hands, and the tails of scarce reptiles. FaceNet Message Board 2003, page 9. The belief exists that vultures are clairvoyant. Muti witch doctors use the bird's brain for a potion that can help people to predict the winning numbers in the lottery and scores of football game. According to Professor Anthony Minard, 2018, page 48, the strength of the medicine to be used is further enhanced if the victim is young, virally, and if the parts are removed while the victim was still alive. This ensures the potency of the medicine. Research by Institute of Strategy Studies indicates that South Africa has a frightening high rate of multimedas. Township children are the worst affected. Children go missing every week, and it is speculated that many of them are victims of multimedia. Multimedas are very profitable as people pay high prices for body parts used in muti. Witch doctors do not necessarily commit all the murders themselves. Hired killers are often employed for this purpose. Law 2002, page 11. The government concern about this problem has led to the establishment of the Commission of Investigation of Witchcraft, Violence and Ritual Murders. After a wave of such crimes took place in Soweto involving boys aged between 1 and 6 years, the Minister of Women, Children and Persons with Disabilities, Noluthando Mayende Sibiya, is of the opinion that separate, more serious charges must be brought against people who kill and harvest body parts for muti. To read more about Minister's opinion, go to the website as indicated. Activity. Would you consider consulting a witch doctor to acquire more wisdom, political power, or bring yourself good luck? Give reasons for your decision. Your personal opinion counts here. You should have listed the reasons for your decision. Combating crime. According to Minar 2019, page 48, police officials in some rural areas are unwilling to investigate not only multimedia but other witchcraft-related crime. This reluctance stems from a fear that they will be bewitched themselves by the perpetrator. In addition, due to the secretive nature of multimedas, the victim's body are never found. It is believed that a substantial number of missing children who are never found are being trafficked, not for sex or labor trafficking, but for the purpose of human body parts harvesting, namely multimedas. Human body parts muti is a lucrative business in South Africa, depending on the body part usage and intended end result. Price range from 9,000 to as high as 29,000. Most of the suspected multi-trade in human body parts is conducted underground, which makes it difficult to track down. Conclusion. It is very difficult to determine the actual extent of magic, witchcraft, or multimedas. The fact that a task team was appointed to investigate the occurrence of multimedas in the Limpopo province is clear indication that multimedas do take place. Human body parts will only be in demand as long as there is a market for them. Self-assessment questions. Black magic is a form of magic that draws on why are multimedas profitable? Two. Professor Anthony Miner believes that the regular disappearance of township children can be attributed to blood in multimedas, widespread for Faith and religion can have certain elements in common in all associates in all societies. They are connected with. Okay, I think we're done for today on this module. Let's say danko.